Hello and welcome back to the Stronghold. I'm the Magi and welcome to Midweek Magic, where I want you to grow your collection by winning 2 free rare or better ICRs each and every. So yes, as usual for the first week of a new season, this video is pulling double duty. When it comes to the Midweek Magic event, pick any 2 packs you want for any reason that you want, whether they look like a fun combination, you think they'll be successfully able to play together, or you just let monkeys throw darts and make the selections for you. It really doesn't matter. And the rest of this video, however, is going to be for the folks looking to invest gold into the jump-in events. And rather than worrying about winning, they want to make sure they get the very best out of their card selections. So without further ado. But before we get into all of that, this whole Midweek Magic thing has become a bit of a tradition here at the Stronghold, and it all started with our crack team of researchers discovering that we were the only YouTube channel making consistent, proactive, and timely Midweek Magic coverage. And here we are years later, and it appears that we're still the only ones out there doing it for the budget community. So be sure to subscribe to the Planeswalker Stronghold so that we can be here for you every chance we get. Now, what were we talking about? Oh yeah, right. The entire concept of jump-in is to take all the difficulty out of deck building, and really it couldn't be much simpler because you're just making 2 choices. Your first choice, you're going to be shown 3 packs or mini decks, and with that you're going to be given an image that is a little bit of a clue, a name which is generally your biggest clue as to what the theme of the deck is, and of course there's always an indication of the color associated with that pack. And all you do, if you scroll over each of the decks, it will also show you a key card to show you a little bit more mechanically what is going on thematically with that deck. And all you do is click on the one that you want, and then down in the bottom right hand corner you hit confirm pack to lock in that first choice. At that point the screen updates and it shows you whatever your first choice was on the very far left hand side of the screen, and then it's going to present to you 3 additional choices, the idea here being just the same. You get the same context clues, and you click on and confirm pick for your second choice. At that point, the decks are going to shuffle together. Some fairly appropriate land is going to be added, although honestly the land algorithm that they use is not always awesome. And at that point, you have a playable deck for the event. When I'm doing evaluations, I like to use what I lovingly refer to as the Eastwood rating system, breaking your choices down into 3 easy categories: the good, the bad, and the ugly. In order for a choice to get a rating of good, it's got to be above the moving average of all of the available choices. The bad, however, is actually still generally a playable option, so to speak, being within 1 standard deviation mathematically of having been a good choice. The ugly, however, is everything else that is left. It's not good. It's not even bad. These are the ugly choices that generally aren't even worth our time. I arrive at these scores by evaluating the individual cards in the pack, both the rares and mythics, as well as the commons and uncommons. Secondly, I like to look at how well the pack theoretically supports any existing budget deck archetypes that we've been developing. And of course, we try and factor in if this packet helps you unlock additional formats like Brawl or Historic. So now let's talk about this season's packs and how it affected the pool overall. When I'm doing evaluations, I like to use what I lovingly refer to as the Eastwood rating system, breaking your choices down into 3 easy categories: the good, the bad, and the ugly. In order for a choice to get a rating of good, it's got to be above the moving average of all of the available choices. The bad, however, is actually still generally a playable option, so to speak, being within 1 standard deviation mathematically of having been a good choice. The ugly, however, is everything else that is left. It's not good. It's not even bad. These are the ugly choices that generally aren't even worth our time. So even before we started factoring in the new Aetherdrift packs, there was a number of shifts within the jump-in pack list. One significant one moved up, and that was the Eerie pack, solely because Enduring Curiosity has proven itself to possibly be the best rare in Standard prior to Aetherdrift's release. Let's see if that changes. But I think at the very least, it's going to remain the best blue card in Standard. I just don't see that changing anytime soon. So obviously, this pack is a better pick. Even if you aren't building a blue enchantment deck, this is just an awesome standalone creature. And of course, it's not going to be all upside. In fact, we had a number of downshifts this time from green good to yellow bad, and yellow down to ugly as well. These are mostly having to do with just meta shifts rather than individual card choices. Prehistoric is maybe on the fence depending upon what some of these pro-dinosaur, pro-tribal cards do out of Aetherdrift. We're going to have to watch that one in particular. But the rest here I feel pretty confidently have downshifted and are a little less valuable to us budget players in general. Alright guys, so I'm just going to level with you. At the time of recording here, we only have about half the data available for the new jump-in package. Hopefully that's going to get cleared up as time goes on. But as far as I can tell, we don't have this because our boy Clay here just has not bothered to publish the article talking about it that was actually due out yesterday. So now the set's completely live, and well, sadly, I have to leave you guys somewhat defenseless with no idea what we're really talking about here. And I hate that, but it is what it is. So we're going to be talking about what we do know, and I'll be talking about the holes that are in the data. As I said, hopefully we can get that cleared up over the next couple days. So we're going to start things off with the ugly decks as we do around here. And as it sits right now, there's only 2 that I think are ugly at the moment. One of those being the mono green primordial deck, which I know enough to know the name, and I saw it be played, but I never got to see what the rare was. I'm not really sure what's going on with that. So more than likely that is going to move on up. On the other hand, the mono blue fueled up deck, I've seen both versions of the deck. Although Thopter Factory is a good rare, I think the verbose host Nexwa, I'm not sure how to say that. I think this is a legit ugly deck. I would try and avoid it unless you have very specific plans for Thopter Factories. Even the uncommons that are in it are not really great. I think there's only one that's noteworthy. So I only gave it 1/4 of a point there. I do think this is a real dud ugly deck and should probably be avoided. Primordial, on the other hand, might be moving on up as we get more information. And as we switch gears and start talking about the good decks, there is a little bit more to talk about right off the bat. The Cats deck, it's only about half Cats. I'm not sure why they called it that, other than the rare that I saw was Basri. And that card looks amazing. It's well supported for Foundations decks. Obviously, there's a couple versions of cats running around out there, and that card makes a pretty good addition to it. Right now, it looks to be top of the heap, but I do expect some things to shift around as we get more information again. Both Exhausted and Wrecked look really good. I'm not sure what's going on with Wrecked. The one version that I opened appeared to have 2 rares in it, which I've never seen before in a jump-in pack, so that might be wrong. I don't know. We've got to get a little bit more data together, or that might be something we have to wait on Clay to get us the final article. But the blue-green Exhausted looked really good. If for no other reason, Afterburner Expert is looking to be a solid card and an early overperformer overall for the standard environment. So if I was y'all, I'd feel really good about picking that up even this early in the data. And of course, that leaves approximately half of the 10 decks, or dead on half, in the bad, aka still playable. Top speed is actually where I observed 2 rares in a single pack. I spoke about it before, I think on the mono red. I apologize. It was actually on this black red. It appeared to have Gas Guzzler and Murganda Raceway in there, so 2 rares. Again, I've never seen that before, so we need a little bit more data to prove that out. And if you've been paying attention, you also would have noticed that we only know 2 mythics out of what is probably 5 in the jump-in set. We know that Artifact Affinity, which I do not have the exact name for, appears to come with a Salvation Engine as a mythic upgrade, and I'm assuming that's at about a 20% rate. And the white-red Road Rage Valor's Flagship, that is the mythic upgrade. I can confirm that. I did get that as a pack, but I don't know any of the rares in either of those. And when it comes to Zombies and Graveyard, I only saw 1 version of each of those decks, so I don't know a lot about the rare right now. Each of these probably has a second rare option. Graveyard in particular, maybe it was just me, maybe I'm tired, I don't know. But that compared with Zombies seemed very lackluster in its play. But again, maybe I'm just a bad pilot of that deck. That could totally be a thing. And Bloodghast seems a little overhyped to me at the moment when it comes to the broader standard environment. But of course, some of that is going to have to prove out. This is definitely a category where we need more data and prove this stuff out. So I'm sorry that that's all we got at the moment, but it is what it is. And hey, just in case you didn't catch all that, Matt would like you to know that the deck list that we discussed in this video is going to have a link down in the doobly-doo to take you over to Aetherhub, along with a link to any other alternative lists that you might wish to consider. He only asks that you give it a little thumbs up when you're over there checking out the deck list. And I plan on live playing this event on Wednesday at 11 a.m. over on my Twitch channel, so definitely stop in and check it out. Because the Stronghold is so much more than just a YouTube channel, and you can find links to all of our other social media outlets in our profile. Because at the end of the day, we're all budget players. And as a community, we're stronger together. So like, comment, subscribe, follow, do all those things to show a little love. It's appreciated more than you know.